Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesa server, and today we're using the old Facecam, as you can see up there in the top corner. And how rude of me, let me take off my hat right here. That's right, we got ourselves some sort of in Minecraft Facecam. What is going on? How have I done this voodoo magic, you are probably wondering. Unless you saw the live stream that we did a couple of days ago, because we actually tried this out in a live stream, and yes, you have been trolled. There is no Facecam as you thought you'd see it, but there is some sort of Facecam going on up there. It's not quite the same as doing F5, but it's a little bit similar. And the way this is done is absolutely brilliant, and it's going to enable some really cool stuff that we can do with like time lapses and things like that, just taking the use of OBS and multiple Minecraft clients to the next level. We're going to discuss how this is done in a little while, because I've actually sort of recorded the beginning of this episode already, so we're going to jump to that in a second. But in that live stream, as well as discovering that, we also messed around with the stables here, and I put in some soul sand, and you can see when I go up to things. Look at my face cam there. Oh, it's so silly. How's it going, Sam? Do you like the face cam? Oh, what's gone on with it now? Oh, right, we're sort of looking at the donkey's butt now. Donkey butt cam, what is going on? What sort of episode is this? Anyway, yeah, we've changed the colours and the textures over here, and I think the pens now look a lot better. So yeah, anyway, let's cut to what I originally recorded for the beginning of this episode. So you're going to get a double intro right now, and then when we come back, I'm going to explain what exactly is going on. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesa server, and there is some blasphemy behind me. What is this? What is that? This looks ugly. I want to know what exactly has been going on right here. I do know exactly what's been going on because I've been watching the other Hermit's videos, and Joe Hills has been over there. He believes that I have chopped down some of the trees next to his base, his tree farm, and it was not me. I tell you, it wasn't me. But in retaliation, he has come down here and chopped down the rest of my tree farm. Now, here's a funny story for you. I used up all of my acacia saplings, planting those down, and then due to trying to get things done quickly, I didn't chop them all down properly. I left all the leaves behind, and now I have no acacia saplings. So I'm really hoping that one drops from this last bit right here. There we go. Amazing. We can start growing our acacia trees again. The one time I do something like that and put them all down on the ground, someone else comes over here and takes all of my saplings. I'm not bothered. It's funny. And this was the remains of a dark oak tree right here, and some other acacia trees, and Joe Hill's just... He took it all, and he left these... they're silly. They gotta go. What is this about? Oh, and this isn't the only prank we've been a victim of today. Oh no, there's more. Believe me, there is more going on. If I just turn around and look off into the distance, you can see there is some sort of giant cube with some sort of sign on it right above the Logfellas building. We need to go investigate that. I'm going to clear this down first. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is making my build here look a little bit silly. Plastic trees. That's what they look like. Plastic trees. No good. I don't want them here. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. And Joe here is our neighbour. We haven't really seen too much of his base, though, because there used to be loads of trees here, and then someone went and chopped them down. Now, who did that? I don't know. Where did Mumbo get all of those oak wood logs from? I think they're oak wood logs. I don't know. I'm not trying to put two and two together there. Nope, that's not what I'm suggesting. But anyway, let's head over here. You see, Joe has his AstroTurf. Is this it? Fake but appropriately appropriate, but regionally appropriate. AstroTurf lawn. How about, Joe? How about you have yourself some AstroTurf trees? That, I think, will fit in just perfectly here. Now that, if you ask me, is an impeccable use of this clay. No monstrosities of trees here. We have designed something ever so elegant and simple. And it looks pretty cool. Do you know what? Now that I look at it and stare at it more and more, I do wonder if that being a little bit taller would make it just look ever so much nicer. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't. Good, let's get rid of that. Anyway, Joe's our good friend here on the server. This is all good fun. Hopefully he'll see this and know exactly where it's come from. And of course, at some point I got to talk to him and say, hey, it wasn't me who chopped down your trees, it's someone else. And we also need to take down his bridge at some point as well, because I do want to build my own one over there, which was always the plan. And you know, I think he's going to love that. That is a gift. That is a gift right there. The gift of Astro trees. I think it was in a live stream that I brought some food from Joe. Now I'm getting a little bit sick of eating fish. It's all I've eaten for a while now. We need to diversify our diet here. and I'm going to buy some more steak from him. As I said, I brought some from him in a live stream, I think, 4 stacks of it, and then I didn't know where I put them. Eventually I found them, and now I can't remember where I found the stacks of steak, so I'm going to buy some more anyway. And by the way, around the corner here, he is building an art gallery. Gotta say, it looks pretty amazing. I do like this. Very cool build. Interesting art in here. And over on this side, aha, check this out. Full Symmetry is building a ender chest shop. I am definitely going to be interested in that. And what is this over here? What is going on? Well, that is just a giant cube of oak logs like I've never seen it before. What is going on here? Gotta say though, look at that. Clay sapling, work of art. What is this? Just a giant cube? Is that all it is? Let's have a read. Down with the log fellas. Timber. One angry mumbo. No entry. Right, he has tried to shut off our business by the looks of it. Do you know what? I'm going to go in here anyway. Let's see. Oh, what? He's cobblestoned the inside as well. How rude. How rude. And I wonder where he got all of that log oak. Log oak? Oak log from. I bet you he brought it from us to do the prank. That's how valuable of a service we provide. I mean, wow. We are rolling in the diamonds here. Oh my days. Oh my days. So many I mean, a diamond block. Wow. We are absolutely raking it in. This is bad for business right down, having ourselves shut down. I've got to speak to Rendog about this soon. I'm not happy with this mumbo. What's going on? So, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our double intro episode today. And as you can see, we've now got third person cam. We've got like a shoulder cam going on behind us. So basically what I'm doing is I'm running 2 Minecrafts at the same time. OBS is configured to put both of them on the screen that we're recording. Another thing I love about OBS there, the flexibility of it to do things like this. And what we have is the second client is basically in third person game mode 3 and set to follow the player, but then we've pressed F5. So I'm going to press F5 again. You can see the front of me, and then if I switch to that mode, you can see that now we're sort of seeing the same thing that I see up there, but there's a little bit of a delay, and that's because the server's got to tell the account in game mode 3 what's going on. So let's swap back to that account. I've also set the field of view very low. You could mess around with this a little bit, put it on Quake Pro, and now we've got 2 fields of view at once. So it's sort of like I can look at this screen and, you know, see exactly what I see, and then up there on the right we can see a little bit further to the sides of ourselves. But anyway, going back to that one, we can press F5, we can roam around like this. It's absolutely amazing. This is going to be so good for time lapses, which you'll see why in a second. And we can also, oh wait, no, we've done the field of view thing already. We can also do it like this as well, which isn't so great, to be honest. That's not the best way to use it. But going back to that one, let's put it on the normal field of view now, and let's go out of this view, because right now what we're doing is following Asuma around. How do I actually get out of that? Do I press E? Shift? There you go, Shift is the button. So now I'm just in third person mode and you're seeing it on the screen as well. This is so cool. I mean, imagine what we could do with time lapses. I could record a fixed position. Now this is something that I've done in the past using 2 computers and a lot of editing tricks, but I could record a fixed position, make this the main thing that you see on the screen, and then in the top right you could watch me doing all the stuff really, really fast. And then you can see the time lapse happen from 2 perspectives. It is really going to take things to the next level, and I think we'll even be able to do a little bit of that in this actual video, because one of the next things I wanted to do was a time lapse. So we get to do a time lapse, but taken to the next level. I cannot wait, and I'm going to get ready to record that. So I'm going to turn off the extra camera now, and we're going to go talk about what it is we'll do in this time lapse. How has this happened? How? The glass has gone missing. How did that happen? Who did that? Why is it no longer here? So anyway, this area right here, I didn't even mention it at the beginning of the video, but yes, I have tore out the insides right here. It wasn't working out. I'd rushed into it a little bit too much. I'd made a big mistake with it being off by 1 block, and it looked awful on the outside. So we decided to tear it all out. We'll rebuild it again later on, and we're going to make sure that we do our base right, of course. So it had to be done, and I actually tried to record a time lapse to share with you when doing that. However, I was streaming at the time. That was when we were messing around with the multiple cameras. I also had a third camera on here recording a time lapse of me tearing out this room, and it didn't quite work out because I was focusing on my live stream. I didn't really think about the position of the camera and like the way that I were removing the blocks. And believe it or not, when you record a time lapse, those are things that you want to consider. You want a good shot so that there's lots going on the screen, and then you want to remove things in an order, which means you can see everything that's going on at all times. You don't want it so you're watching a time lapse and then all of a sudden it looks like nothing's happening for a while. And it brings me to a point, which is quality. There are two types of quality. There's video quality and then quality of content. Now that would have had the video quality, but it wouldn't have the quality of content, which brings me to a point about the first clip that you saw in this video where we had the camera in the top right. I accidentally recorded that at 720p and 4 megabytes per second. Now by the time that gets to YouTube and it's compressed, it's probably not going to make too much difference, but I usually record at 1080p and 72 megabytes per second. So there's a big difference in the quality of that file, and I'm just curious to know if any of you noticed. If you did, let me know, have a comment down below. But what I was thinking about was re-recording the entire intro, and then I realized, quality of content, although I didn't have the best settings to record that because I left the wrong profile on, the stuff is really good. You can't re-record Samuel's donkey butt can you? That just doesn't work. That was a very bizarre moment, so I decided to leave all of that in. Anyway, we're going to do a time-lapse, and what we're going to be time-lapsing is us making a map of the Mesa area, the communal area that everyone is in, and I've been caving, doing lots and lots of caving, as you can see, to get ourselves... Oh, I thought there was iron left in there for some reason. To get ourselves tons and tons of iron. We've also got some gold as well here. This might be enough to pay back Iskal, but first of all, we have got to go and craft ourselves... Let's see. Preparation. Preparation is key for quality of content, because I had no idea what I was talking about then. I had to refresh my memory a little bit. I'll say hi to Cub in a second. We are recording. Yes, I need to make some compasses, and the reason why is because we want to make some maps. And I'm going to be mapping out the entire Mesa area that we are situated in. Now, each map covers about 128 blocks in each direction. The Mesa is said to be about 500 blocks across and 500 across that way as well. So that means, let's say we round it down to 100, 5 times 5, that's going to be 25 compasses in total. So we've got more than enough iron to do that. However, I can't help but feel we'll probably end up needing a few more. I want to build a massive map for a map room which can go in the white area. Now we've got a Hermitcraft meeting coming up soon, and I'm going to suggest that we all get together, put our heads together and figure out what's going to go on in this white area, because the brown area over there has been flourishing without any sort of plan or preparation. Everyone is just going over there, setting up shops, and it's been really awesome. But in order to do the white area, I think we need to plan out the things that we need, like a community hall, and a map room would definitely be one of them. So I want to make some of these maps and get things going in the right direction. So I'm going to need more sugarcane and such to make paper. Let's start off with our first map. Of course, we'll go do that in a moment, but this is how I'm going to do the time-lapse, I think. Something to do with recording. Wow! Oh, that looks so cool! And just by right-clicking on it, we've pretty much covered this entire area. That's interesting. I thought we might have to move around a little bit to get the outside areas, but man, does that look cool. I cannot wait to see what this is going to look like when it's all put in item frames. But yeah, here's the cool thing. If you put this in your offhand, you've got that shot like that. And I was thinking with OBS, possibly what we could do, as I roam around, we could have the camera situated on the map permanently. Although that will probably look a bit jittery if I speed it up and that thing is floating around. Maybe that was not the best of ideas. I don't know how we're going to do this now. I'm going to have to figure it out. But we definitely got to make use of that multi. And what are you doing? You are a mean little fella, you. Leave me alone. Take that thorns damage. Bam, off the cliff you go. Or maybe not. So this has been interesting to say the least. However, I don't think it really turned out quite too well. Here we're using the second account to follow the player around in F5. And the first account, I've just recorded a portion of the screen so that you can see the map and you can see me update it. And it's alright, it was an interesting experiment, but I don't think it's cut out for a proper time-lapse with music. And as we were talking about earlier, it's quality of content over quality of video. And when I did this at 1080p in 60 frames per second, it was a little bit laggy, and that's not really surprising. I think I need to optimize the whole setup a little bit more to record at that rate. But because I've sped up the footage, you don't really notice the jerkiness of it, although you can probably see that sometimes the camera lags behind the player, and that's just server lag, which is something that we can't really avoid. Anyway, I think it was a really interesting experiment and something we're definitely going to try around with in the future, but I think I need to put a little bit more thought into it. But anyway, we did get a ton of stuff done. I think I made about 30 or more maps, which is really good. So now we should try our hand at putting all of these together. So I find myself trapped inside a giant cow farm. I don't know if there's a proper way in and out of this area. As I say that, of course, I discover it. This is Joe Hill's cow farm over here. And I'm not sure if this is actually public or not, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind me using this. I've used my own wheat and just killed a few cows after breeding them, and I like this, you know. It's massive, and often in this game we try and compact everything and make it super efficient, where it's actually quite fun to have something like this. There's just running around in a massive field of cows, breeding them all, and it looks like he's built a flusher system as well to flush them all down to the end, which looks a little bit cruel from this perspective right here. Oh, poor little fellas. Anyway, that's given us the lever that we need to make a whole bunch of item signs. Ah, he just wants a hug. He just wants a hug. But you're going to cause trouble if I move, aren't you? Are you going to cause trouble? I think he's saying yes. Oh, you brought a friend. Oh, here we go. Bam. It's time to kill them. Let's take these guys out. So we're going to set up the map wall, and this will be temporary, as I want to build a building for this, or have someone else build a building for this. As I think I mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to have a meeting soon, and I'll discuss what it is we're going to do with the white district, so we can plan some things out. But this next bit, I reckon, is going to be quite amusing, because I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to figure out what order to put these maps in. I thought this might actually make a funny time-lapse to record me trying to figure this out. That actually sounds like a really good idea. But we've already failed to do 2 time-lapses in this video, so hopefully let's not make it a third. And there goes all of my item frames. Now, there's still a whole area in that direction that I still need to go out and map. But also, these are numbered as well, which give me a hint as to where to put them. So 19 might just be the lowest one. That is the first one that we did, but it's not the lowest in the world. So 21 and 20, I don't know where 20 is, would be another couple to try out. What one is this? So 20 was my base, and I'm not sure where it is in the chest. Trying to scan through quickly here, I'll probably miss it. We've got 22 over there. Aha, so we might be missing one. Oh, this is going to be really difficult. I thought I'd at least be able to place one down to begin with. But anyway, this one right here has got one map below it, so we know that it's going to go, you know, not right down at the bottom. So that's probably going to be a reasonable place to put it. Anyway, I think we'll try this as a time-lapse. I'm going to craft a few more item frames, put down a few more blocks around here as well. We'll make this a little bit bigger just in case it needs to be. And yeah, let's give it a go. All I can say is, wow, that is quite an incredible map and a large amount of land that we have covered. Of course, while you were watching that time-lapse, I went out and I explored a lot further and got a lot more of these maps done, and I don't consider this thing finished yet. I think when I'm live streaming, I might go out and get a few more bits and bobs from here and there, like maybe a couple more just around the top here. There's a few bits where we could probably expose a bit more, and down the bottom as well, but that has just turned out superb. This is going to be a really great resource to have here on the server. Some of the other hermits were discussing about cloning some of the maps as well to update them, so I think if you have a copy of one of these maps and you're over in the area, you look at it, you update it, this one should in theory get updated as well, which is seriously cool. But anyway, while I was doing that, a little voice in my head said, "Hey, Asuma, it's your brain here, I'm talking to you, I'm full of wisdom and knowledge and advice, and you should listen to me sometimes, because I think that right now you should go and get yourself a horse." And I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea actually, because I am walking around on foot and it is taking me forever to get from one place to the next. So Sam now has a friend. This guy needs a name. You guys are obviously fantastic. Samuel L. Jackson. I'm sure you can come up with a great one for this chappie right here with his golden armor. And I brought this guy from Cub's shop. He was the fastest one there, and he only costs 2 diamonds, so I'll probably give Cub a tip because that has been an absolute lifesaver. So we're going to grab our diamonds, head over there, and say a big thank you to Cub, because we now have ourselves a super speedy, awesome horse. And this guy isn't called Speedy, because Cub had a horse that he named Speedy, charged a lot of diamonds for, and it turned out that Speedy was really slow, which was pretty clever of him, using some advertising right there. But anyway, we are now out of iron. Believe it or not, after that expedition I went on, a little caving one, I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, I came back with about 4 stacks of iron, and now we have less. We have less iron than we started with, so I won't be able to pay back Iskall today, and I've got to go on another caving expedition to get more iron. I tell you what, I'm starting to change my opinion about this whole iron farm thing. I think it'd actually be quite beneficial to have one at some point. Anyway, it was this one over here. As you can see, it only costed 2 diamonds, and it comes with a free lead. I think I'm just going to give him... Let's give him 8 for that one, because this guy really was a lightsaver. So thank you, Cub. Really do appreciate the horse. Let's head back to our base and put this guy in his stable. So leave a comment down below. We need name suggestions for this golden chappie over here. And that is going to be it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like on the video. As always, thank you so much for your support. And of course, let me know, that poor little spider there. Let me know what you think about the whole dual camera thing that we've been doing in this episode. I definitely want to make use of that in the future. But anyway, that's going to be it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.